Hello, my crafty friends. I hope you're having a fabulous day. My name is Robyn Pitts with Sir Chauncey Rocco Creative Designs. I am a guest designer for ASC Craft Supplies, and I'm really excited to share a new project that I've created for them. I made this beautiful Rosey Gift Box. I use the Prima Dulce Collection by Garcia. I absolutely love this. This is so versatile. In one hand, it has a carnival and circus theme, but it also is very shabby chic. It's sophisticated and elegant, and I just had so much fun working with this. If you haven't seen my video already, please take a look at the link above. I have done a full review of this product collection, as well as all of the items in my guest design team package, and of course all of these items can be purchased at ASC Craft Supplies. This project was created using a digital file by Dreaming Tree. You can find them on the web at 3dsvg.com. I love the way this box turned out. I think it is so beautiful and feminine and delicate and shabby chic all mixed up into one. This box measures 7 inches from the bottom to the top of the rose and about 5 inches across, and as you can see, it's a hexagon. The crowning jewel of this project is this beautiful hand-rolled rose, and in the center I have these pink stamens, and I used Art Nouveau pearl drops to dot the stamens. I also used my folk art holographic paint to give this rose shimmer. Let me show you what this looks like. This may be a little difficult to see, but it's folk art glitterific and it's hologram. If you've seen my other videos, you know that I love using this. Under the rose, we have these beautiful and delicately cut leaves in a light green and a darker green. On the side, I used a piece from one of the ephemera kits to include this little tag, and it says Admit One. Under the leaves, I have this beautiful cotton lace surrounding the top of the box. I think that little hint of lace just adds such a beautiful feminine touch. I also used a combination of pink and cream pearls to line the seams of this box. And finally, I finished this box off by adding alternating colors of the Say It and crystals. We have this mint green, and then we have this iridescent color. But if you look closely, this paper is just so beautiful, and you can see hints of the carnival theme here. You can see the cotton candy. However, this is a very elegant and sophisticated project. What I love about this box is that it sits on top of a pedestal. As you can see here, I have the pedestal in a darker pink, which coordinates to the darker pink on the lid. Let me show you the inside. I have a special surprise. I created this beautiful teacup. I had so much fun making this. On the top here, I have this beautiful jewelry piece, which is a dancing lady with these beautiful flowers and rhinestones. On the top of the cup, I have it filled with these beautiful flowers, and all of these flowers are from the Prima Dulce Collection. I have it resting on this sheer iridescent glitter tool. Here we have a little tea tag, and again, this little flower is from the collection, and this sentiment here, Dolce, is from the Ephemera 2 kit. On the bottom of the cup, I have a variety of flowers and pieces of ephemera, all from the collection. I did, however, add in this beautiful little resin rose pearl and rhinestone piece of jewelry just to add another layer of elegance to this project. Isn't that beautiful? I love the beautiful frosted flowers. We have a little heart there, this butterfly, this cute little cupcake, And again, all of the flowers that you see here, as well as the leaves, are all from the paper collection. Let me show you the bottom of the box. As you can see, this is quite deep, and I just have some sparkly crinkled paper here at the bottom. And all of the sides have been distressed in a rosy ink color using Tim Holtz distressed ink. And here you can see the pedestal that it sits upon. Now that I've given you a review of this beautiful project, let's make it together. I'm going to grab my materials and then I'll be right back. I've gathered all the materials to make our gift box. Before we get started, let me show you some of the items that we will be using. I am using this Prima Dulce Collection by Frank Garcia. For today's project, I am using a digital SVG file by Dreaming Tree. On the internet, they are 3dsvg.com. In your package, you will receive a number of files as well as this PDF document, which shows the project that we're going to make, which is the Rosey Gift Box, the supplies needed, as well as each of the images and the sizes that you will be cutting out. Now, I have downloaded these images to my computer and imported them into Cricut Design Space, and I will be using my Cricut Maker to cut out each of the items. I will also be using art glitter glue. As you can see, this is a very well-worn bottle. This is my favorite glue. It dries clear, it dries fast, and it's super strong. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you will see a discount code, Robyn 10, which gives you a 10% discount off of any purchase at artglitter.com. In front of you are the key elements of the box that we're going to make. These two pieces here will make the base of the box. This is the bottom of the box, and these pieces will make the top of the box. And on my cutting mat, I have all of the decorative panels that we will be using. I'm going to clear these items off. We are going to start with the bottom of the box, and you have these three pieces here. I've already gone ahead and folded along the score lines, and I've also inked them using Tim Holtz Distress Ink in Spun Sugar. What you want to do is turn your pieces over. And for this project, I'm using the textured side out. You want to fold back this tab here and align it to its neighbor, and then we're going to glue it just like so. When you're adding the glue, you want to make sure that you get it all the way to the edge. And I'm going to align these pieces right at the score line. Make sure that these bottom pieces here are aligned and fold over. I am then going to fold over these two pieces so that they connect to make the bottom of our box. And you want to just line this up right to the score mark. Okay, now we're going to turn this over and we're going to glue this top part down. Start at the top part of the box, and we're going to do one tab at a time. The reason I'm not gluing all of the tabs down is because sometimes it gets a little uneven. Make sure you have it lined up right next to the score lines, and then you can start working your way around. Now what you want to do is take your bone folder or your finger and just run it across the tabs on the inside bottom of the box, just to make sure that there is a strong adhesion. And now we can take this piece, we're just going to stick this in here like so. And you've got a nice pretty bottom of your box. Okay, so we can now set this off to the side. Now we want to grab these two pieces. I've gone ahead and folded all of the score lines. I've inked all of the edges. Now what we want to do is glue this little tiny triangle to its neighbor like this. So this is going to form a box. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue, making sure the paper lines right up to the score mark and not over. And because it's a tiny piece, you want to make sure that you have a nice strong hold before moving to the next piece. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next piece. I'm going to go ahead and do that for the rest of the 4 tabs here. Now that we have all of the sides glued down, we are going to glue the top of this piece. And so I'm just going to put glue on one tab first, and we're going to align this right at this edge of the score line. Okay. I'm going to turn this over and just use my bone folder, make sure there's a nice strong adhesion. Okay, I'm going to move to the opposite side, and then I'll glue down the rest of the panels. Now I'm going to grab the decorative panel so we can cover up the space, and then we'll glue on our box right in the center. I have gathered the decorative elements, and now I'm going to distress them. I'm just going to take my ink and my dauber and just finish off the edges of the paper. I'm going to distress the rest of these pieces, but before I do that, I want to glue this decorative panel onto the top and attach the bottom box. So as you can see, this is a perfect fit. Okay, I'm going to line it up with the bottom here. I'm going to take my bone folder and just gently spread out the glue. Now I'm going to grab my box, and we're going to center this box right on the base, just like so. So there should be an even margin all around. All right, so that looks centered to me. So I'm just going to add some glue, making sure I get all the way out to the edges. And we're just going to place this right in the center of the box. Now you want to take your bone folder and just press down on the box to make sure that there is a good strong adhesion. Now let's put this piece to the side, and then we're going to work on the top. I've gone ahead and inked all of the decorative panels, and to save time I've glued on a majority of the pieces. However, I left these 2 areas blank. So we're just going to simply put glue on this, and then I'm going to center it in the middle of this spot right here and make sure that it's aligned to its neighbor. So there should be a nice even border all around, and then I'm going to glue this piece right below it. Now what we want to do is glue these 2 pieces together, and you'll notice that there are these 2 large tabs here. What we're going to do is align and glue the bottom pieces together first, and then we'll start gluing on the top tabs. So I'm just going to put glue right here. I'm going to line this up just like so. And then I'm going to close these pieces up. Glue this just like so. And so what I'm now doing is just gluing it to itself. And when I do that, you'll notice that each of these scallops are perfectly aligned with one another. And now we can start gluing these tabs together, and they're going to fold in just like so. Again, you want to make sure for each of these tabs the glue is right up to the edge. I'm going to glue that, let that hold for a few seconds. You want to make sure each of these tabs have a very strong hold before moving on to the next tab. Glue on the next tab, and then I'm going to do this for the rest of the tabs, and then I'll be right back. Now that we have all of our pieces glued together, we are going to glue down the top of the box. Let's see if I can get this down before all the glue dries. Okay, and then I'm going to start with this top part right here, and then everything else will fall into place. You may have to zhuzh it a little bit. Okay, let's turn it over, and then use your bone folder to make sure all the tabs are adhered. Now, before we glue down the next part, which are the foliage and a beautiful rose, I am going to embellish the sides of it. I have to do that first before I can add on the top. So I'm going to go and grab my embellishments, and I will be right back. While I was offline, I added some pearl embellishments. I did a combination of this cream pearl and this pretty pink pearl all along the seams. I also added in this beautiful crocheted lace trim on the top. I think that's going to look really pretty underneath the rose. I've also cut out these leaves. For this one, the larger one, you'll notice that there are score marks on all three sides. So what you want to do is bend this down. I did distress this with the pink ink. Now what we want to do is give this some dimension. So I'm just going to take my Cricut spatula and I'm going to gently curve it this way. And I'm going to curve it up sort of in an S formation, just like that. Okay, and you can see that there's a nice little curve. So if you want more curl, put more curl in it. If you want less, put less in it. So I'm going to put this in the middle of my box, and you want these pieces to be in the middle of these flat areas. Find the center of the box, and that's where we're going to glue it down. I'm going to take some hot glue. I'm going to stick it down here in the middle. And then I'm going to take my second leaf, which is in a darker color. I've folded along the score line, and we're going to do a very similar motion. I curl to create that little bump right here, and then I flip it over and I turn it in the reverse. You want to do that for all three sides. Now what you want to do is put this down, and you want to make sure that it's offset from the leaves that you just glued down. Put a little hot glue here. And that's starting to take shape quite nicely. Okay, so let's put this aside. And I've also cut out the rose shape, which is in this large spiral. I've already gone ahead and inked all of the edges. We also have this piece here, which is the stamen. Now I have taken my Nouveau drops to create these little pearl centers on the stamens on the front and in the back, and I'm just going to let that sit for a little bit to continue drying. Next we're going to make our rose. So I've already cut the rose out, and it's in this large spiral. I've also gone ahead and inked all of the edges. And so what I'm going to do now is curl this, and what we want to do is make sure we have enough room for the stamen to fit in, which is about this size. So I'm going to fold this around just like so. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here, right where this little valley is. Now we're going to fold it again, and what we're going to do is skip this area, and we're going to glue right here. We're going to give it enough room so that when you turn down the edges, it's not so tight that you don't have any room. Skip this valley and put glue right here. Okay, now we're at the base of our flower, and I'm just going to take this little circle and glue it right to the base. So I'm just going to put a little glue on the side here, and then push that down. Now what we want to do is curve the leaves. I'm going to grab a skewer, and I'm going to start rolling back the petals just like so. I guess if I want a larger curl, I could use this one. This is one of my older Cricut spatulas. We want this to look like a blooming rose on the top of this box. One of the things I really love about this rose is the inking. See how much dimension it gives? Now that I have my rose complete, I'm going to grab my stamen. I am going to take this paintbrush, roll it around, making sure the bottom is even. I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue here to attach it together. And then I'm going to take a skewer and just curling out some of these stamen pieces just to give it a little bit more dimension. Okay, so that looks really pretty. So I'm going to put some hot glue here on the bottom and stick that in right in the middle. Give that a little bit of time to hold. And look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Now we can glue our rose on the top of the box. But before I do that, I want to add glitter to my rose. And so I'm going to use my Folk Art Glitterific. This is hologram. And I'm just going to randomly paint this on the leaves just to give it a little sparkle. I love the coarse texture of the glitter in this. And I think it's okay if you have large chunks. That just adds to the texture of the flower. And I'm going to let this rose dry on top of here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. I'm going to put ample amount of glue here in the center. And there is our finished box. I think that looks so beautiful. What a gorgeous presentation. This concludes my review of my beautiful Rosey Gift Box using the Prima Dulce Collection by Frank Garcia. At the end of this video, I will be sure to include a link to all of the items that I used to make this project and a link to ASC Craft Supplies where you can purchase them online. Hopefully I've inspired you with some fun and creative ideas. If you like this video, please take a moment to give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to hit that little bell so that you will always be notified when I upload a new video. Be sure to stay tuned for my next project from ASC Craft Supplies. Bye for now and happy crafting.